Alright, hello, and welcome to Stream. It is time for Stream. Dismiss that. There we go. Okay. It is time for more Ace Attorney. Doing this because I won't be able to stream on Friday because or likely won't be able to stream on Friday. We'll see. I might still make a stream on Friday. But I wanted to guarantee at least 2 streams this week. And load game for Turnabout Corner. Day 1. Trial 1. Yes. Yeah, we're gonna get right into it. June 16th. 9:46 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 2. Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today. He said his old foot injury was acting up. Old injury? He was all smiles yesterday. Yes, he smiled and he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Yes, fine. We'll be fine. Here comes justice. I started my voice training at 5 this morning. Ooh, do some now. I want to see, or hear. Huh? Okay. My name is Apollo Justice and I'm fine! That sounds more like a self-mantra than voice training. I'm fine, you know what I'm saying? I love this sprite, honestly. Good morning. Yo, sup? Hit me with the guilty verdict, G. See if I can. You just hang loose and let things go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Not really. Lucky, don't be running your mouth up like that in here. See, that's the difference between you and me, old man. I ain't afraid of no cops. Real G's can't keep it real till they spend some hard time in the pen. You have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. I once again ask, are these giant eyebrows or does he have like the All Might thing going on where his eyes are all sunken in? I can't tell, and that might that is very likely intentional. Sounds like they've both been doing voice training too, Apollo. My worst fears realized. The trial's starting and I haven't had a real talk with my client. I do kind of like that his, the sides of his bangs look like fox ears. That's kind of a fun character touch. Courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Walkie Kentucky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ready to rock and roll, Herr Judge.
Ah, it's him, the guy from yesterday. He's a prosecutor? It's Mr. Gavin's brother.
Long time no see, Prosecutor Gavin. Were you taking a leave of absence?
You know that little band I started in my free time? Thing is, we got really popular. I had to say 9 to your fans when 3 of your singles got platinum, ja.
I see. To be honest, I was a little concerned. I fear that you might still be distraught after that one trial.
Not so very, Herr Judge. I wouldn't miss a day in this court for the world. It's worth even more than VIP passes to one of my concerts, ja. How could I pass up a chance to see true strength of the little boy who bested my brother? It was worth cancelling a show or two. I don't know. Maybe someone like Legal would be able to... Would you be able to just go off and do that? Like, and still keep your certifications? I feel like you'd have... Like, you've got to do something to, like, keep up in court. I don't know. That might be a question for my cousin.
Understood. You may give your opening statement to the court.
Before that, I was thinking... Is there... in this courtroom not a bit serious?
It is a court of law.
That is no way to get the jumping here, Judge.
I'm not supposed to jump. This is a courtroom.
Chunk, baby. Today we play it my way. Okay, this is a bop. This is really good. What's that noise? Sometimes you have to get on up in order to get down to prosecuting. This is crazy. The victim, Pal Maractus, director of the Maractus Clinic. The scene, People Park. He was found and pulling in a noodle stand.
What in the world was a doctor doing pulling a noodle stand?
Yes, I believe if you will only find that out by asking the defendant right here, right now. Because it is undeniable the truth that he shot the victim. I can't tell if this is German or French. It's probably gonna fluctuate between the two. I have done German accents for my for D&D characters and the like, but those were deeper, like huskier Reinhardt style characters. Here's who I was able to more keep the voice of. It's your not to glare at anyone here, Judge. Glare at the punk in the defendant's chair. That's definitely more French than German. This crime was witnessed quite clearly, you see. Very well.
Please admit that this witness, of
course. That was a cool animation. That's a really cool animation. I gotta wonder how accurate the fingers are to where the chords would be placed. He is a guitar player, so that would make sense, and that he would have it pretty fully accurate. Nein, not yet. First, there is a little matter to be cleaned up. Did you talk without the accompaniment? I swear I could see a guitar for a second.
What is it, President the Captain?
The motive here, Herr Judge. Why did a little punk do it? Why did he kill director of the Miraculous Clinic? Not so fast. The defendant doesn't have to explain that. Oh? But what did the defendant specifically request to do so? As he did this morning. I want to give a shout out to all my homies, I believe he said.
What?
What is right? They always say that on stage you should hit the crowd with speed and ferocity. Sounds like he got you good, huh, Polly?
Well, this is highly unusual, but the court will now hear from the defendant concerning his motive in the crime. So, you son, are the defendant. You, son, are the defendant Walkie, are you?
Ain't your son, old man. You step to a Kentucky, you best be prepared to step strong. You'll step to a public official, you'd best be prepared to step into jail. Gotta hand it to him, Wonky sure has guts. Not as guts I'm worried about. His mouth.
Well, the court will now hear the testimony on the defendant's motive. From the defendant himself.
Waki Kataki's truth, quote unquote. I'll tell you one thing, that doctor was a quacker. Someone had to show him what's what. I was in his clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my app something bad. Then he just let me go without a word. See you later, bye. So I gotta go in, get another doc to patch me up again. That was the day I done figured out. No OG's gonna let that pass. That's why I went through his pad that night. Know what I'm saying?
You're saying you were one of the victim's patients?
A lot of stuff goes down when you're keeping it real on the street. True that. I'll tell you one thing, that doc was whack. I mean, he's got one of my favorite pun names.
Very well, the defendant may begin the cross-examination.
I can't believe this is the first time I'm hearing about all this. Okay. See what that one has to do with it. So you were a patient at the Miraculous Clinic half a year ago? For what reason? And what you might call a Macavana. Can you explain precisely what was wrong? Had a little run-in with the Rivales family. The rival. Or the Rivales, I don't know. That's when I pulled the Jack move. And ran into an ambush. She busted a cap right in me. According to my sources, you couldn't stand the stress of waiting. And ran 15 minutes before the appointed time by yourself. Hey, I was more than a match for those guys.
You were carried to the Miraculous Clinic from there?
Apparently, he was shot in the heart. Shot in the heart and he's still alive? Shot in the heart and he's to blame? You just love a bad name. I can catch bullets between my teeth. Never learned how to catch them with my heart. The bullet stopped just short of my thumper, you know what I'm saying? Would have been golden if it weren't for that whack doc. Can't even take out a stupid bullet. So, as you say, the surgery was a failure. That ain't all of it, Holmes. What do you mean he just let you go without a word? What do you think it means? It's whack, that's what.
I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds bad.
It sounds as though O'Hare Doctor wished to hide his mistake. That's why he lets the defendant go. He's a liar, straight up. He's a better G than me. So this bullet is still... You know it. I can still feel it. Right there in my chest, pressing up against my hat. Words are like a bullet shot straight into my heart. Or something to that effect. Incidentally, that's from one of our hit singles.
Well, that sounds like a straightforward case of malpractice.
You get it? Word, J-Man. Weren't no accident, that's for shizzle.
Seems that there were issues with this doctor.
Man, putting him down was like doing the world a favor. Waki, please consult your lawyer before saying things like that. Chin up, Apollo. Back straight. Oh. You heard it. Trucy pulling the posture check. Okay. I was actually kind of shrimping there. So that... that did actually... The game straight up told me to check my posture. I kind of appreciate it.
But why did this mistake only come to the light of that day?
It was found during the family health checkup. The family health checkup? That was the wackest thing of all. All the G's lining up, taking eye exams and all that. Better die young than fade away. You ready to hear? Eh? What's a relief? Oh, did your father not tell you? That bullet you carry so close to your heart, if not attended to immediately, it could kill you. What? Yes, Herr Dr. Maractus had knowledge concerning this ticking time bomb in you. Knowledge that could have saved your life. No way, that's whack! There is proof, your checkup report. How ironic that you would kill the one man capable of helping you. You're almost as careless as he was. Snow, she's got a little Naruto. Well, now that the place is hopping, let's get the gig started.
Started?
You've had enough of the one-up act, ja? Time to hear from the witness. Waki sure is quiet all of a sudden. I'm a little uneasy myself. Is this Gavin's strategy? I want to punch this man. Like, this person, I feel like he has a VIP pass for every locker in his school. So, you will tell us your name and occupation.
My name is Wesley Stickler. By occupation,
Oh, nah, I'm not catching up with that. Oh gosh, this is a windy of this game. By which he means to say that he is a student. A junior at Ivy University, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
indeed, the Department of Science and Engineering, filled with curiosity for all things. I spent my days in the pursuit of truth, honing my...
Herr Stickler, please direct said curiosity to the case at hand today.
Very well, Mr. Stickler. Please testify to the court on what you saw on the night of the crime.
You ask quite simplistically what I thought.
Nope. Just gonna let that play out. A night in the park.
That night I passed through the park on my way home from shopping when I saw them. One man pulling a stand, another man facing him. I saw them quite clearly. The man was facing the victim, the defendant. In his hand he held, yes, a pistol. It was pointed at the man pulling the stand. A shot! The bullet hit the man pulling the stand from the front, square in the forehead.
You sure this guy's not a theater kid? Anyways.
Was there anyone else in the park at the time?
I can say with 100% accuracy that there was not.
The pistol a witness refers to is this.
Can't accept this into evidence. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness.
Yes, Your Honor. Druzy, why are you staring at the... like that at the witness? That man. I can't help but feel I've seen him somewhere before. Oh no. You're a panty snatcher, aren't you? But there was one big thing on his... square in the forehead, but... bullet to the temple. Real quickly, Court file, metallic object found near... oh, yeah. 2 rounds were fired, you say? But yeah, we're gonna present this autopsy report because he was not shot in the forehead.
Objection!
If that's all of it, I think I have a chance. Is that you relaxing? I see here, Justice. Huh? Oh, objection!
Once is quite enough, Mr. Justice.
Apollo, pace yourself. This trial's not over yet. Right. Look at this.
The autopsy report? Is there a problem with the autopsy report?
Right, it's outdated. Yes, the problem is the location of the entry wound.
The location?
You testified that the killer shot the victim square in the forehead, did you not?
I have already determined your angle of inquiry. Allow me to explain. It's quite simple, really.
Just gonna let him do his thing. Still going.
Mr. Justice?
Yes?
Was your objection to these krypton particle things?
This is the big time and you're obsessed with something so small? You disappoint me. No, I'm obsessed with something big. I mean, there's a bigger, less nitpicky problem here.
Do tell.
Just look at the autopsy report. The location of the entry wound was the right temple.
Temple?
Mr. Stickler, you said quite clearly the victim was shot square in the forehead. That's a contradiction, isn't it? It is, right?
Objection!
Well. Here's Justice. Oh, here's Justice. Yes? Your tactics are outdated, trying to shake the witness by objecting to trifles. Surely you haven't forgotten the fatal wound your master suffered 7 years ago. Phoenix Wright, was it? Look, I know the wound was in the wrong place according to this testimony. Hey, Herr Forehead. Forehead? Let us imagine you are walking through the park. You see 2 men facing each other. One with a pistol trained on the other. What would you do, Herr Forehead? Well, I guess would try to stop them. I'd probably shout stop. And Jules, Fräulein? Me? Well, I'd probably scream, eek! And Jules, Herr Stickler, what did you shout, I wonder? The victim turned his head at the last moment.
Ah, yes, thank you for jogging my memory.
Oh, I just want to shove him in a locker. Give him a swirly.
Sounds like an addendum to testimony is required.
Witness testimony. A night in Park 2.
As soon as the killer raised his pistol, I took action. Cease this at once, you two, I cried with composure. The victim turned in the direction of my voice, and the shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killer, the defendant, appeared to have become frightened. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I see, so you...
Oh, wait.
So you attempted to stop the crime.
Indeed, with composure.
Uh-huh. Maybe the criminal wouldn't have fired if you hadn't shouted like that. That doesn't really matter now, unfortunately. Let us consider this new testimony, shall we? Observe the diagram, if you would. Okay, just gonna... Yeah, okay, yeah, that would result in the right temple getting shot.
The witness, Mr. Stickler, was it, stood here. He shouted, "Oh, stop, please," or something of this nature. And the victim responded by turning in the witness's direction. If the killer were to have fired it at just that moment, we can see the bullet would have struck the right temple as in the report. That does seem to be the case.
Witness the power of a junior in Ivy University's Department of Science.
Very well, Mr. Justice, you may cross-examine the witness.
Cross-examination. The Park 2. Let's see. Action. Ceases at once, you two. I cried aid with composure. The victim in the direction. Shot rang out. Whereupon our cowardly killing. Do I press on it? Well, let's see. Alright, wait, what? What oh. What a mascot. Oh look, I love these little personal touches. Seems a shame to hide it on the bottom of the bowl. Huh? When I touched it, the paint flaked off. Ah, he must have painted it on by hand with warm professional care. After buying the cheapest paint he could and with cold professional thrift. That will probably never come up, but it's a fun little interaction. But the fingerprints have been wiped off, but if Waki threw the gun...
That doesn't make a ton of sense. Let's see if that works. I don't know. Seems like
Objection!
Oh, hey, it worked. Wait a second.
Tisk, not another misleading request. Yet you're so beholden to your own mode of discourse, which is you can't see how it affects you.
Come again?
Wait a second, you say. A second? Are we intended to wait just as that? A single second? 1/60th of a minute? That's hardly enough time to draw breath, let alone make a statement in course. Now, had you asked for a longer period of time, say 3 minutes... Okay.
Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor. Am I to understand you are objecting to the length of a second? Yeah, I mean, no. Here, just look at the pistol. It doesn't have a single fingerprint on it.
Ah, a common ploy. Made all the common. More common, I fear, by the prevalence of television. Criminals these days are loath to leave fingerprints.
Wait, but you said the killer tossed the gun and ran. That's right. He didn't have time to wipe the gun for prints.
Ah, the little girl sticking it to the university student. There's a song in there.
Not little.
Then, and let's think like adults, shall we, Fraulein?
Huh?
What if the killer, the defendant, was wearing gloves? Gotta admit, didn't think of that, Apollo.
Well, Mr. Justice?
Could the killer have been wearing gloves? I mean, we have not seen him wear gloves at all. Waki doesn't seem the type to be that intelligent. The record of the murder weapon is very clear about one thing. The fingerprints were wiped, which means some trace of prints remained, which contradicts your testimony. If everything happened as you say it did, he wouldn't have had time to wipe the pistol.
That may be, but it does not change what I saw. The killer, the defendant, he threw down the murderous weapon from his hand and fled. And his pistol was found at the scene of the crime, strongly suggesting that this is the weapon.
So he didn't actually see him. He never saw him fire. Wait a second. There's a shiv with Waki's prints on it that was found, but this isn't the murder weapon. I'm betting this is what he saw. Hold on, let's keep going.
That one unsolid to me. Well, Herr Forehead, any of your precious objections?
What gives, Apollo? Let's give that voice training. You didn't go to work. Or let's see that go.
You know, I've only recently realized something. No matter how much you train your voice, it doesn't matter if you have nothing to say.
Oh, gosh. Oh. I'm clipping that. Oh, gosh. That. Internet, take notes. Please. Doesn't matter how much you train your voice. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to say. Oh, that's good. I'm saving that one. What do you mean, nothing to say? Isn't it obvious from what the witness just said? Huh? Isn't what obvious? When he restated it, what he saw just now. He said he saw a Waki drop a murderous weapon. But that's not the same as being 100% sure of what Waki threw away. You're right. He's just confused because the pistol was found at the scene. Poor Mr. Stickler. It must be hard to be so perfect and yet so wrong.
Well, it can't be. You said... It can't be said. I'm quite offended. Well, it is indeed true that at once in...
Oh, no, not letting that happen.
What I can say for certain is that the witness saw the killer throw something. Does the defendant have anything to say about this?
Well, if if what he threw wasn't a pistol, it had to be something else. At least one person on the defense team seems to be thinking. Wipe the smile off your pretty face, Gavin.
Perhaps you can inform the court of the nature of this something else. What did the killer throw it?
See, that would be the knife that has Walkie's fingerprints all over it.
Take that! Was that a sword? I saw one of those on a late night movie last night.
Great. A sleep-deprived judge. This knife was found at the scene of the crime, with the defendant's prints on it.
His prints?
This single piece of evidence proves two important things. One, that what the defendant threw down wasn't a pistol. Two, that the defendant wasn't wearing gloves.
Indeed.
Oh, Herr Forehead? You're forgetting two other things you've just proven. Huh? One, the man the witness saw was the defendant, Mr. Waki Kitaki. And two, the defendant was holding a knife with the intent of harming the victim. Oh. Indeed. Never underestimate Gavin is the lesson here.
The court was of the opinion that our witness is fond of making assumptions. In that light, I believe it would behoove us to hear about what really occurred. With less assuming, please.
It is always the same with you people. Mark left the house on foot, and 5 minutes later his brother left after him. How long would it take for Mark's brother to catch up to him? Assuming that Mark never had to stop at a traffic light.
Morty with the big stretch. Hello, friend.
Assuming. Yes, that's what I said. Assuming. As if that were a probable situation at all. Yet here you are, assuming that my assumption is no better.
Oh, I want to give this person a swirly.
What this court assumes is that the witness will testify to what happened after the shot was fired.
Yeah, stream is going well. Happy to see you. It's been a while. Glad to see you pop in and say hi. From shot to call.
I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
Why didn't you chase the killer?
He was, as you say, a killer. Of course I could have run him down. Yet what would he have done when cornered? Sadly, it takes more than an aptitude for solving quadratic equations to know that.
Did the testimony not prove the defendant's presence at the scene? And do we not also know that there is no one else there? It seems that we have it seems clear that we have our killer. Yeah, I'm glad you could make it. I understand being trapped at work. A lot of our friends. Yes, we have Clavier. A lot of our friends stream like midday and the like, and it's hard for me to catch their streams as well because they're streaming while I'm at work. Yeah, sadly there's no Edgeworth in the game, so Floof will not have any fancy husband in this game. But we do have Clavier, who I am very much liking. He's fun.
'Cause I am very much liking. 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 'Cause I am
Seems clear that we have our killer. Does it not?
Does it not, Mr. Justice?
Better find a way to take this testimony down quick. I'm just gonna start pressing because I don't know. Which way did the killer run?
By that time, it was clear the killer had noticed me. Naturally, he ran in the opposite direction.
He ran in the opposite direction of the Kitaki mansion? Assume. Don't even think about pointing out that he was going away from his home. All he had to do was look back once he was out of sight. How did he know that's where I was going? You were certainly composed for someone who just witnessed a killing.
If one is devoted one's life to the pursuit of science, one must never flinch at the sight of a little blood, nor be so moved by a chemical discovery that one drops one's flask on the lab room floor.
Oh, cool answer. Very cool. Something strange about how he acted. Trucy looks like she has something to say.
Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police.
Wasn't your first thought to call an ambulance?
It can be said that I have dabbled in medicine. The injury I witnessed, namely a single shot to the head, tends to result in death. Ergo, there was no need for me to call an ambulance. Oh, a perfect syllogism? I don't know that word. A proof in 3 parts. Exquisite. Simply exquisite.
He actually looks like he's going to cry.
Until the police arrived. 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
This witness is way too self-assured. There's gotta be a weakness somewhere in this testimony. Keeps cutting to Trucy. Huh.
I could not prevent the killer.
Can you tell us in detail about these 10 minutes?
I stood in a state of heightened awareness. Anything could happen at any moment. Anyone could appear from any direction.
Is that all?
No one came. Nothing happened at all. I saw it all, which is to say, I saw nothing.
It's not odd to think there would be It's not odd to think there would be few people around in the park.
We just stood there watching? Let's just go on there. Trucy, if you've got something to say, by all means say it. I can't find a single problem with that testimony. Had enough at last, hair forehead. Maybe it's time to back off a bit. Yeah. I got nothing. Ugh. Ugh. There's nothing fishy about that testimony at all.
It appears that there are no objections to the witness's current testimony. There are any number of ways to explain the lack of prints on the pistol, I assure you. Perhaps the killer really was wearing gloves which wiped the previous user's prints off. Then, after the deed was done, this fell out of his pocket as he was throwing the gun away. A mistake benefiting a small-time punk, in my opinion.
Oh! That particular face is funny.
It seems we've come to the end of the line, yeah.
No, it can't
all.
How unfortunate. Seems that you weren't cut out for the stand on this to stand on the same stage as me. You were you, Herr Forehead?
I believe this brings the cross-examination to a close. This court will now declare a verdict for the defendant, Waki Kitano.
Trucy?
Nobody move. What's the meaning of this? Who are you?
There'll be no verdict in this court. Not yet.
Wait, are you one of the Kitakis? The Kitakis? You mean the notorious gangsters?
If you don't want to see me, you give the pretty little girl a new smile. Do as I say. Adjourn the court for 20 minutes.
What? This court will not bow to the pressure from the likes of...
Herr Judge, I see little point in further aggravating this gentleman. Recess, 20 minutes, or I promise you'll regret it. Wait! How do you disappear so fast? Magic! Come to the defendant lobby, Apollo.
I suppose I have no choice but to adjourn for a 20-minute recess. Bailiff, catch that mysterious man.
Yes, we'll save there. Yes. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. I feel like this one's going a lot faster than the first case's court session. Trucy! Trucy! You move quick, Apollo. Good show, good show. Trucy, you're okay? I thought... Don't cry, Apollo. Ugh, those good-for-nothing gangsters. Some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down, Apollo. Or else...
Ah! What?
Where did that spring out of? What? What the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat.
You look marvelous, darling.
He's a big hit on stage. He's at the Wonder Bar.
Yes, I am a big hit.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it? You mean you... Trucy, there are some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Apollo, now is not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said to Waki's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But the testimony's rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more staged abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling? Think back, Apollo. Think back to the times when there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there was a contradiction? Was there? What? Actually not. Huh. I don't know. Maybe let's say yes. Well, I think I remember them, sure. There were 2 times when he made a statement and he wasn't confident in. And each time there was a contradiction.
His hand he held, yes, a pistol, which was pointed at the man pulling the stand. Tossing the pistol aside, he fled from the scene.
Oh, yeah. He said the man tossed aside a pistol, but it turned out he wasn't sure, and sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's sure, but I don't know. But how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. Did you see it? The very moment he said the word pistol, his fingers got all tense and he fiddled with the corner of the page in his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went in 7 years without losing a game of poker? I kinda like that. I kinda love that. What? I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. I mean, that's how Mr. Right won all those games? Not cheating, officially. Wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all. But not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated. But what does that do for us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Watch a testimony? Perceive the truth? The only thing that I'm perceiving is that I'm gonna lose. Not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Mr. Wright said that? Watch the testimony. Perceive his true feelings. Is she serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one, Apollo. What was that she said before the trial started? Huh? Mr. Wright's not here today? He said his old foot injury was acting up. Yes, he smiled when he said we'd be fine as long as you're there, Trucy. Is this what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already today. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice. Let's do it. Apollo? You know, I'm starting to think I can do this. I knew you could do it all along. Ah, and one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Hyde as best you can. I just flew in from the East Coast, and boy, am my arms tired. Right. I do love... I really like Trucy's design. It's really cute, and it's just... It sells her, like, stage magician. Like, it's very, very just... Ace Attorney has great character design. There's some I'm not too fond of, like this guy, but that's just, you know, personal preference kicking in.
Court is now back in session.
Right, we're fine.
I'd like to say the young lady standing next to you. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice.
Oh, you mean me?
Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat?
Ah, right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that.
You settled that?
Yes, it was a out-of-court settlement, right? Perhaps Fraulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? I think he's on to me. wish he could stop being so cool.
Let us dispense with the niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for our gifted witness?
Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something.
There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however the court will not permit stalling for time.
Understood, Your Honor. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. There was one where he had the animation with his book. Not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all. Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot. Focus, if only it were that easy. My ears hear what he says, my eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? What's this? My bracelet? What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. Because this is the animation where he's got the book, so... So you mean... Wait, Apollo! This has to be it! Wait, you mean his habit? Don't forget to... Yeah. The only time he even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for his habit. I don't know how. Oh, I know. But I know. Know what? My bracelet is different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness. Your bracelet? I'm not sure where I get this focus stuff if you were talking. I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Outrusi. But I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. My bracelet with R as it reacts. Eyeball. What's going on? See the witness's fate? It's filling my mind. I see nothing else. Hear nothing else. Apollo? Trucy, what's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing? In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness has done. It's great. But this is freaking me out. Just look at for Mr. Stickler's twitch. His habit. You remember it, right? Sure, when he said... he's not sure of, he fiddles with the page of his book. You got it. Right now you're looking into the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out. I'll bet they are. First, move your focus down to the attention of Mr. Stickler's hand. His hand? You know what to look for now. No, but you have to be looking at the right place. She's right. I can only see his face like this. Okay. Yep, there we go. Yeah, this was definitely a DS gimmick. Perfect. Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Perceive? Try listening to what the witness... Or listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit. Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page That's right. That's your signal to look to look closer, to perceive with R. Find his weak spot, and I guarantee you'll be able to give him the royal flush. Please, I want to give this man a swirly. My goodness. Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers. Don't worry, if you miss it, you can always try again. Right. Look out, nervous twitch. Here comes justice. Oh, there it is.
Gotcha!
I saw it. Just now, I could see it. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. We currently have my sister and brother-in-law's dog for reasons I'm not fully privy to, but there's a lot going on at their house right now between their 1-year-old son and renovations happening. So we have him for an extended period of time, and I could hear him whining outside my door, even though it is past his bedtime.
Mr. Justice, do you have something to say?
All this banging of desks. It's quite bad for my circulation, you know. Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you one simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone.
What are you talking about?
I'm curious about this cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? Guess I'll ask to see it. Mr. Stickler, please show me your cell phone.
Why? Whatever for?
Show me, and you'll find out.
Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't have it?
Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone?
Where did you get that?
That's the phone from yesterday. Look, a cell phone. Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it would have been crushed for sure. I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment?
Wait a minute. What is the meaning of this?
This cell phone was found yesterday in the Maractus Clinic garage.
The Maractus? Well, that's where the victim lives. That's impossible.
Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police? I mean, whatever that sound was.
It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That's why it can be said that I called for the police from a public payphone. A payphone? So you didn't call on your cell phone after all?
So where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, to end it with this startlingly high degree of accuracy, it's right around here. That's quite a ways from the park. Why did you lie?
There can be only one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone, because it was found in the victim's garage.
What are you saying?
Mr. Stickler, you broke into Maractus' Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all. Ooh. Love this pursuit theme. This is a really good one.
But that's ridiculous. It makes it sound like the guy snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I would try to kill him.
Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night.
Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true I lost my cell phone. You can't prove that I lost it that night.
Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions to a connection with the crime.
Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime. Well, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. So I have a piece that can do the job. Can I prove that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder? Show evidence. Oh, I like your swagger hair forehead. Hit it.
The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say.
Well, I think could it be the mirror? Might be the mirror. Because the mirror was like, that's the car that almost hit Phoenix and it busted off. Nothing was in the trash of the thing, and if it had been in there, or if it had been in there when that car pulled in that night, it would have run over the phone because it was underneath the tire.
Take that!
That's a side view mirror.
As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder.
An accident?
An accident. Get over that old lady climbing the fence. It happened a little after 9 p.m., just outside the People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it was clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped there before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was just lying on the ground right under the wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in that garage. Was it after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park?
Whoa!
Mr. Stickler, you know what this means? You did break into the victim's garage that night.
This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Pal Maractus?
No, stop! This is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor, say something!
I suppose if you were saying this, no connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Pal Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared?
Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilt. Probably not of murder, but... Gosh, his eyes upset me. The weird rectangularness of this animation stuff.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. When I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim stand, all clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene.
But why would you crawl into and break into someone's...
But your cell phone was lying in a garage. Ah, yes, well, as you can see, my model cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road.
What?
Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please.
That's funny. Teresa didn't react at all during that testimony. His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around. Right. No problem, I hope. Here comes justice. Start pressing for now. So you went shopping, which means you were holding your grocery bag when you witnessed a murder taking place?
Well, yes, of course.
Incidentally, the prosecution has received no report of this domestic detail.
Mr. Stickler, can you explain yourself?
No, I mean, yes, I did go shopping, really. I walked around the supermarket trying out for free samples. It's a deeply spiritual time for me.
I'm sure the store's clerks would disagree.
Do you think sampling free food counts as a religion?
In any case, that's nice. I sampled to my heart's content and was on my way back home. Yes.
I mean, he is a college student, so I kind of get it. That's when you passed in front of Maractus's clinic.
Why, yes, that's correct.
That's a pretty suspicious pause there. Mr. Stickler, do you think you could be a bit more specific? Please show us the exact route you took on the night of the murder.
Of course. The supermarket is here, along the main road. My way home from here takes me past Maractus Clinic. It's probably when I dropped my cell phone. Yet where was I? I walked unaware of my loss. And when I walked into that fateful park,
Which entrance did you enter the park from?
well, to be exact, one might say I went from the entrance closest to the Maractus Clinic.
The same entrance the victim used. Did you miss anything when you entered? Wheel marks from a noodle stand, for instance?
I have no recollection of such a thing, no. Yet though I might have missed the tracks, I could not miss what happened next. I am a keen observer of the obvious, you might say.
Are you? As part of the testimony of the key, I know it.
Not try.
Sanity? Do you happen to remember the noodle stand?
Quite well, yes. For a student of sciences, the observation and healthy curiosity, or keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes, that was it.
Remembering something quite well, so it took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice?
What about that sign could be important? Might be important. Very important. So the sign on the sign and so a sign on the noodle stand said noodle? It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony.
Is noodle stand's broth is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days.
I don't know that you need that much salt in your diet, sir.
I think that's what adding to the testimony as well.
Whatever sort of noodle that stand sells, it can't match up to IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to our school merely for the taste of our smart noodles.
One might have tasted that myself. Now hold on though. Is the news sign one of the pieces of evidence here? That definitely says Eldoon. Oh. He was seeing it from this angle. I just noticed the giant box of salt at the top. Jeez Louise, Eldoon.
Objection!
And you're absolutely sure you read the sign noodle?
Why, just last week, my professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that.
Jeez.
It read without a doubt, noodle.
I see.
What? What are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes?
Let's take a look at our map, shall we? You're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot.
You think so?
Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take a look at another look at the stand, and to carefully read what the sign says. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner, Eldoons.
Inconceivable. I'm certain it was definitely noodle for sure. Positive.
I'm afraid your professor was wrong about your eyesight.
I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says he saw the sign and said noodle. And he saw it right. What would you say if I told you that there's one spot on which the sign would be read that way, would be read the way that Mr. Stickler claims?
What?
Mr. Justice, show us the spot.
Would that be it? I'd assume. Let's go in this kind of area.
Take that!
The witness was standing here, on the opposite side. Ramen, 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 rice ball.
How do you know that?
When viewed from the south, the sign on the sand reads Eldoons, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand.
Oh, the sign says noodle.
Exactly. The name of the stand is split between the front and back signs. Mr. Stickler, You lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
Objection!
So what? So what? What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or south side? Makes no difference at all. He's right. Travel far enough to the south and you'll end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without... Gosh. Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change? It changes everything, Apollo. Trucy? Remember his testimony from before? Though to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. Oh, yeah, give me them good Nintendo DS graphics. The killer and the victim are facing each other here. Then, at the moment when the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point, the victim turns his head to look, and the killer fires his pistol. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right. But if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario. Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in his direction, the bullet would have to hit his left temple.
Oh!
In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible.
That's right.
No, it's left. So now, we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side. And the wound location on the takes on an entirely different meaning. Indeed, you are absolutely correct, Fräulein.
What meaning?
The entry wound on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the victim, or the right side of the victim's head is north.
Well, that's where the victim, Lee Stickler, was standing.
Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself.
Water.
Wow, Apple didn't fall far from the tree. He slipped his whole case on his head while I was still figuring it out. Well done, Trucy.
Objection!
Clarify. At one point, information will shoot her forehead. Not now. Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. Of course I can't picture him. Or I just can't picture him as the real killer. No, please. Looks aside, I'm really a nice guy. All my friends say so. Trust me, I'm friends with like 2 or 3 black people. They say I'm not racist.
Let's see what the defense has to say.
What are you gonna do now, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? Let's accuse him of another crime. I don't think Wesley Stickler is a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why now. The word confession isn't in my dictionary. This fair forehead. I'm afraid the fault was on you to elucidate Herr Stickler's silence.
Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing the witness just now for a crime other than murder. No reason. The court's all ears.
know he's guilty of something. But what crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime?
Your evidence? The court wants its own eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us the evidence that points to the witness's involvement in a crime.
It's gotta be the panty stuff. Because that also happened that same night.
Take that!
The evidence is this.
What? Is that women's underwear?
Hey, those are mine.
Don't look at me like that! Order! Mr. Stickler. Well, I can't say this comes as a shock. It's not what I think.
Oh, well. On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees. He hides himself in no other place than in the Maractus Clinic garage.
Aha!
Incidentally, these panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. That's right, I forgot about that. It's been in like a week or so since I played, so yeah. Presumably, he was trying to hide evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree.
Please, hear me out. It's not what it looks like.
Order! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed.
It's not what it...
And we got us our breakdown.
So we too understand that you were silent not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments?
Perhaps you are not aware of my school's name. It was originally written IV. I stands for intelligent, V stands for valiant. See?
Your point?
I'm not done. Now, I'm a major of the science department. And what does science teach if not curiosity? Yes, we of the IVU science department are valiantly curious. No challenge is too daunting.
Objection!
Okay, wow. That's a justification for stealing women's underwear. Okay. Come on, you're talking about a girl's panty. Hold up, I need to... Hold up. Yep, thought so. Yeah. You are talking about stealing an underage girl's panties here.
No, you do not understand. A mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, those panties are the problem.
Bailiff, give this man a swirly!
From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate. For science. A full-size car tire was only the first mystery those panties revealed.
A tire?
Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of those panties. But that's not all. First was the tire, then a stew pot, and a frozen chicken.
Oh right, her panties of holding.
One mystery after another. It was magic.
Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar. about my magic panties trick?
I don't understand. A broom? From a pair of panties? It mocks the very laws of physics.
A broom and a frozen chicken jersey?
Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits?
Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties. Do you understand the magic trick?
You say panties, but they're so much more than that. For me, they are an object of serious study.
I wonder, has there been a recent rash of panty snatchings in the area? What, are they all you?
I'm sorry, but I did it for science.
Just gonna let him ramble on. Still, that leaves one thing unexplained. Ah, you refer to our witness's other lie, yes? The witness claims that he saw the crime from the south, but it was in fact in the north. Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that? Be my guest, Herr Forehead. Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea?
Hollow? There's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a...
Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any?
Would it be the other pair of pantsu? No, I have not.
Take that!
Try that, because we found those in the trash can. The evidence that shows why he lied is this.
Oh, more panties! How many panties are you carrying in your pocket, Herr Forehead?
These are the last, honest. These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood.
Mr. Stickler, you didn't.
Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties.
So these panties are your handiwork as well?
That's right. I had been chased, hounded into the Maractus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
I hid in the garage for a short while. Then, abandoning the panties, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant bench, a giant pair of panties.
Apparently he didn't know those bloomers belonged to the mob.
I had them, yes, safe in my pockets, ready to take home. When I stumbled upon a murder.
The murder of Dr. Maractus?
I reported what I had seen, but as I arrived, as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me?
That's when you disposed of the bloomers.
Yes, it was a severe blow to the progress of science. But one had to be born. Or one that had to be born.
A fascinating, if disturbing tale. I believe that this brings today's proceedings to a close. and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial. One last thing, if I might. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Regardless of where we ended up today, some vital points were made. Namely, that the defendant, Vaki Kitaki, was at the scene of the crime, and the thief was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Vaki Kitaki has a clear motive. Indeed, the defendant Vaki Kitaki is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming that there was no one else on the scene at that time. The mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court will request further investigation from both the defense and prosecution. Ja, did No problem. Very well. This brings the trial for the day into the close. Court is adjourned.
Alrighty. Well. Day 2 investigation. Yeah, we'll go a little bit longer. 20 minutes or so. June 16th. It's 2:23 p.m. Write Anything Agency. What a train wreck that was. Glad we made it out of that trial alive. Really? I had fun. And Waki made it through the day too. Everyone was too obsessed with the panties to bother with the real case. But it was good publicity. Imagine the crap out of my show tonight. You should come on, Polly. Yeah. The amazing Mr. Hat will be making an appearance. Alright, folks, I'll be here all week. That's about enough of him. Hello? Miss Talia, or Tiala. Thank you for today. The trial went well. Oh, right, no problem. Do you think Waki will be okay? Well, he's not guilty yet. Please, you have to help him. We're supposed to get married next month. Oh, congratulations. Way to put the pressure on a guy. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Are you sure about marrying into the Kitaki family? I'm fine with it, and I love Waki with all my heart. Oh, that's so sweet. So it doesn't bother you that you'll be married to the mob? Well, I don't think so. My parents are against it, of course. Say, where did you and Waki first meet anyway? Good question. Miss Yella doesn't look like the type to have gangster connections. Oh, we met at my old job, actually. Ah, an office romance. She's not very forthcoming with information about herself, is she? Did you know that the boss is trying to get... Did you know that the boss is trying to get out of the business? Really? Mr. Kitaki wants to stop being a gangster? It's way of the house husband! He's trying to transfer his assets into a normal company. He only announced it recently out of the blue. I hear there's quite a lot of confusion in the ranks. Huh. Wonder if this explains that apron. This is literally like Way of the House Husband. Can't imagine why Waki going along with that. So I'm going to assume that this game significantly predates Way of the House Husband. I don't know when the manga came out, but this was a Nintendo DS title, so can't imagine Waki going along with that. He's highly motivated, isn't he? That's not the word I would have used. He said, I'll be the next big boss and keep the family alive. He's at that age when boys want to make a mark on the world. That's not the way I would have put it. His father moves in a lot of circles. He's really focused on profits. The Kitaki family's been making a killing recently. Again, not the way I would have put it. But Waukee as it's not about the money. They have the gangster tradition to uphold. Oh, a generation gap. You even got a classic what about the family business thing going.
Usually it's the father worried about the tradition. Waukie's operation. Can I ask you a question about Waukee? I understand he was operated on by the victim, Dr. Maracus.
Apparently, yes. I was in the clinic about half a year ago. He messed up my abscess in bed. Then he just lets me go without a word. See you later. Bye. So I gotta go in and get another doc to patch me up again. Yes, it sounded horrible. Waukee he's been fond of fighting, I'm afraid.
I'm not sure it qualifies as fighting when pistols are involved.
Mr. Gavin was saying his life might be in danger, wasn't he? No, that can't be right. I'm sure he was just trying to scare us. It's scary to think that a surgeon might make a mistake.
It's happened. China. A lot of doctors that are involved. Incidentally, the victim in the second case of the second game was also a horrible person of a doctor. And I'm sure that's intentional. I'm sure this is meant to kind of reflect Turnabout reunion and Turnabout in some ways.
But it's even scarier when he tries to hide it.
I'd like to know a little bit more about this operation. Maybe it's time to pay the Maracus Clinic a visit.
I should be getting home now. Waukee's in your hands, Mr. Justice.
Right. Leave it to me.
Apollo, I think you're only making her more nervous.
Sorry. I'm new at this, okay?
It's alright. I believe in you.
Yeah, I think we'll head to South Dunes. And Huh. Well, maybe not. Oh, that was it. Okay. Detention Center Visitors Room.
Looks like Waukee's out for questioning.
I really need to talk to him. I guess we'll come back later. Excuse me. Yes? The other suspect is all through his questioning, sir.
The other? Ah, you mean the panty snatcher.
Wesley Stickler. So they arrested him too. Alright, let's have a little chat with Mr. Stickler. Hope I don't regret it.
He's a valuable witness.
He's a bit precious, I'll give him that.
Please keep this brief if you would. I'm quite busy.
I need to finish this paper. It's you! Stickler, we'd like to have a few words with you. Very well, as long as they're few. Nothing would make me happier, believe me. Ooh, this detention center seems pretty dope too. I really like the music in this game. Mr. Stickler, on the night of the murder, you stole... Wait, I can't help but feel I'm being misunderstood. How exactly? Yes, that night I obtained a pair of panties, it's true. However, it was my burning curiosity that drove me to do it, nothing more. That doesn't change the fact that you stole an underage girl's underwear. Even if it's not underwear that she wears.
You wanted to know the trick to my panties, right?
You are here too? Great Trucy, teach me.
Huh?
I must know the secret of your panties. My very existence hangs in the balance. Please, make me your apprentice.
Apollo, help. I don't know, I think you'd make a great, lovely assistant.
Don't say that, Apollo.
Did you relate what you saw the night of the murder to us just one more time?
Why not? Though I hardly differs from the testimony I gave in court. The defendant was there in the park that night. Of this I'm certain. He was pointing a pistol or something like that at the victim.
He was pointing a knife.
That's when I shouted, "Stop, you two! Let's resolve this like gentle." And the next a shot was fired. And this is all true?
Really?
My panties are gone. My innermost heart revealed. What further reason would I possibly have to lie?
I can't think of anything you'd want to hide more than the panty snatching. True. Sounds like Waki was at the scene of the crime after all. Oh, I wish it weren't so. I think I've got everything I've got gonna get out of him. Oh. Hey, it's Mr. Eldoon. Oh, Mr. Eldoon. What's wrong?
So, you found my stand. That's why I'm here, to thank you.
Ah,
Now it's a crime scene and they won't let me have it back. And that's why I'm here. I got no other place to go.
I don't remember this guy's voice. Ah, I see.
How can a noodle stand be a crime scene? That's what I don't get, Trucy doll. Even in death, he's after my neck, I tell you. Can't even cook an honest noodle. My perfect rendition of shot through the heart, and you're to blame. Him is proof enough of my emotions.
He? Even in death? You mean the victim, Dr. Maractus?
I tell you, it's enough to drive a man to make his soup even saltier.
Remind me to never eat his noodles when he's in a bad mood. He's always in a bad mood.
That stand for generations and served the very best noodles us Eldoons could make. The tradition of noodles and salty broth. It's more than a stand, it's history, I tell you.
Watch what you say or it might come true. It's a great story, Mr. Eldoon. A single stand passed down from generation to generation.
Of course, to be honest, I didn't plan on doing it.
That's right. You said something about that. About rebelling against your pops, was it?
Good memory, Trucy doll. I was a go-getter back in my day. Until my friend next door butted in. In the end, I was left with nothing but this dusty old stand to earn my fortune.
Mr. Aldoon, I don't mean to pry. What exactly did you do before you became a chef?
Let old noodles lie, that's what I say.
I'm starting to get an idea of what he did anyway.
He stole my dreams and left me with nothing but noodles. I even learned Eye of the Tiger on harmonica to play during my training montages. And now I don't even have that.
Mr. Aldoon, if I might ask, what exactly happened between you and the Maractus Clinic?
Huh? Yeah.
Couldn't help but sense enmity there.
Enmity. I hate him. Or hated. Him acting like he smelled like roses when he's rolling in mud.
Excuse me?
Is he the only doctor at that clinic, you know? Pretty impressive, eh? I'll tell you the secret to his success. The mob.
You mean the Kitaki family?
They're always having one of them turf wars or whatnot. Always an injury or two that needs fixing. Maractus saw a chance for some business. So he started giving the Kitaki family a good deal. A deal? Every 5th operation for free. He stole the idea from my pops. 1 free bowl of noodles a week, he used to say.
Can a doctor just decide to do that? What about the insurance companies?
Oh, no doubt it's illegal. But it got at him good. It was the family. Pretty soon he was getting on all the business in town, leaving me here in the dark, up to my neck in soup and noodles.
I think I figured out Mr. Aldoon's former occupation. Can't hurt to ask, Apollo. Mr. Aldoon, or should I say Dr. Aldoon.
Figured it out, did you?
That's right, I was a doctor, a surgeon until the year before last. So, Mr. Maractus was your rival?
You like those onions they put in the soup broth?
Yeah, kinda.
You take a spoon, you drink some broth. Those onions will find a way in there. For people who like them, that's just fine. For people who hate them. I hate onions. Hate them. Always sneaking from the side, getting it in the way of good tasting spoonful. Well, that's what he was. An onion. Onion boy. That's what I called him.
Is there a point to this tangent? So, you weren't exactly friends.
Me and pal Maractus. Ever since preschool, we were getting in each other's face. No matter what I did, sure enough, he'd come following along. Then he'd do it better than me. Just blow right past without so much as a howdy.
I see.
That's right, I was a surgeon long before he was, you know. And that no-good onion boy comes along.
Well, Trucy, it looks like we found ourselves a new suspect. Don't say that.
Thanks to him, I was forced to trade in my scalpel for a ladle. And my music career as a harmonica cover band. Seriously. Did you hear that perfect rendition I did of Making My Way Downtown? Sorry, pal. Didn't mean to weigh you down with an old man's ramblings.
No, it's fine.
By way of an apology, you ever get yourself in a spot of trouble, you drop by. Huh? You're investigating Maractus, ain't you?
Yes?
Well, you want to know about the doctor, you ask a doctor. That's all I'm saying. Just think of me if you need something, Trucy doll.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Aldoon.
I guess
the time spent in listening to him complain wasn't entirely wasted. Let's go to the mansion real quick, and we'll do that, see if I can save my game, and then go from there. Kitaki Mansion. Yipes, he's back. Hey, you two, over here. Us? Yo, little plum, what's up? Think all this gangstery is having a negative influence on Trucy. Heard you retrieve my bloomers. Well, yeah, I just... Bah, man, speak clearly. A man speaks clearly and takes credit where it's due. You caught the thief, didn't you? Yes. Sorry, I caught him. You're cute when you're nervous, Polly. I'll deal with you later. But enough about bloomers. What about my son, Walkie? Walkie? He's Clearly. Clearly. Yes, ma'am. This is why I was kind of hoping we could avoid coming back here. It's really everything you expect in a boss's son. I'm gonna be a gangster, dude. Life does have an appeal for that age. Particularly for boys. Man, don't look at me like that. He was shot in a turf war about half a year ago. Yes, we heard that story from Walkie. But he didn't tell you the whole story. You know, even if he had a pistol in, he couldn't have shot anyone. What? He acts like he's hard, but he couldn't shoot someone to save his life. I should know, I'm his mom. Her words have a certain degree of weight to them. Hopefully when all this is taken care of, he and the boss can sort out their differences. The boss? You mean Walkie's father? They didn't seem to be on the best of terms, did they? It's true. It's true. One of our pistols is missing. So the murder weapon was from this mansion? Kinda figured, given the difficulty of obtaining a gun these days. Can you tell that this is meant to be a set in Japan and not America? Whew, I'm just not gonna go further than that on this statement here. None of the rank and file have access. Only the boss, myself, and Walkie could have taken it. I see. Sure, the cops will continue tromping all over the mansion because of this case. Maybe this is a sign that it's time for a change. Doesn't seem too concerned, at least. Alita Tiala. Yeah, Walkie's fiance. They're getting married next month, correct? I suppose. She's been staying over lately. You don't look too happy about that, little plum. How'd you guess? Even I could tell that. Could you tell us more about her? Walkie brought her home one day. Says he wants to tie the knot. I can see why. She's so pretty. Oh, she's pretty enough. You know? It's probably just me being suspicious. Stay in the business too long, you start to only see the darkness in people. You get a nose for it. A nose for people, a nose for trouble. I wonder what the problem is. It's like gangster's only version of female intuition. The boss may act tough, but that boy means the world to him. Walkie seems like he's against his father's position. It's to be expected. We're a bit of a transition right now. Trying to cut our ties with the shadier side of the street and do more on the up and up. Walkie isn't too enthusiastic about the change, it's true. Why the change? Is the gangster thing just not paying the bills? It pays, but we need a lot of money right now. Lane money, that is. I see. Something must be up. He'll see things the way the boss sees them someday. I do think, though, that that's what we're gonna call it. Options? Yeah, save. Yeah, we're gonna call it there for the night. It is about time for me to be looking to go to bed. So... but make some good progress. We move things on to another day. We have managed to keep the all too eager to be declared guilty son of a Yakuza boss from being declared guilty. So far. We still have another day. But we will deal with that tomorrow. Because I need to go get ready for bed. But you guys have a wonderful night, and we are going to find... there it is. Yeah. Let's throw a raid to my friend Eos, who is currently doing some just chatting. It is her birthday dono-thon going on right now, so... she's very fun. She's very sweet. So, yeah, let me just set that going. Oh my gosh, are they watching Yu-Gi-Oh? That's amazing. Hold on. Try this again. Gonna refresh. Why is it being weird? Okay. Yeah, alright, we're just gonna do it through this. But yes, I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good rest of the night. And goodbye.